Hey guys, Chase here, and I think we all know it's the countdown, one day away from Bleach being cancelled. Now, if you're like me, you're probably really upset about it. And just because it's a special day and Bleach is ending, I'm actually going to show my face. Now, I got my sweet little, nice little tie here. I don't really plan on bringing it out again, but this is more so just for Bleach. I've always loved Bleach. I've read it a lot. I watched the anime. I could never finish just that one last filler arc. I was just really annoyed with it. And just the way with like how it's going, and I'm probably not the only one that's upset with it. I mean, I know there's more people which have definitely loved Bleach probably more than I have, and they've like done reviews on it. Meanwhile, I've only done like 2 videos, but Ichigo, forgive me. Now, it's gonna be awkward, like waking up to a Thursday and like checking like Manga Panda and Bleach isn't gonna be there. It's just gonna be awkward. Now I have some of like my own like drawings right there. Yeah, I've made myself as early in Bleach, but I don't think it'd probably be good. So I have like all my Pokemon drawings up here above it. I've also made some other drawings as well over there. I know I'm not the best artist, but I've at least tried, and Bleach. Now, with the countdown on how I got into Bleach, well, actually, it wasn't I or myself that found it. It was actually my uncle's girlfriend, and she was watching Bleach, and I'm just over there one day because I think I was like in grade 9, and my family was visiting my grandmother, and my uncle lives with my grandmother. So I was just visiting my uncle, and then my uncle wasn't there. So I just talked to his girlfriend for a bit, and she's like, "Oh, do you mind if I just catch up on or at least this episode of Bleach?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." So she shows me the Kenpachi versus Ichigo fight, and I'm like, "Damn. You don't mind if I borrow this computer, do ya? I want to watch from episode 1." So I watched from episode on, or at least 1 onwards. I slowed down at the Bount arc. I really loved the Byakuya and Ichigo fight. There was just something about it. And I was an Ichirukia fan at first. I loved the thought of Ichirukia, and then Orihime got captured. Now, I switched to probably Orihime and Ichigo after when you saw in the Byakuya fight that Orihime really cared for Ichigo, but he didn't have the same feelings. Now, if that were to happen, I'd be happy, but if Ichirukia happens, I'll still be happy, because either way, Ichigo ends up with someone in the end. But it's Bleach has let's just say I've been obsessed with it. I'm making my own book based off Bleach. It's pretty good. I mean, I love the fights like Grimmjow versus Ichigo. That was wonderful. That was probably one of my favorite fights as well. Because I just love how Ichigo's just like, just because I look at you, oh, you get freaking pissed off. I mean, Grimmjow's like, oh, or no, he's just like, oh, just because I look at you and treat you like an equal. And Grimjaw basically retorts with, I don't care if you're human, Soul Reaper, or even like an Arankar. I'm still gonna crush anyone who looks down on me, and I loved that. I loved that fight. And then it was Kenpachi versus Noitora. Still, gonna be one of my favorite fights in Bleach will be the Kenpachi versus Noitora fight. You have freaking Noitora that goes into his freaking Resurrection, but not Segunda Etapa or something like that. Anyway, he goes into his Resurrection and starts freaking like cutting Noitora with like 6 blades. Noitora cuts Kenpachi with 6 blades. Sorry, just freaking like cutting him up, and I just love that fight because freaking Kenpachi just got beat up, and then he's just like, I might actually die here. Well then, two-handed sword. And another fight I really loved was Uryu and Miyuri. I mean, hey, freaking Uryu just kept coming back at Miyuri, and Miyuri's just like, well, I'm gonna paralyze you, shank. And he just paralyzes him, and yeah. Paralyzes him, he uses his Let Steel, and man, just freaking puts a bow full charge freaking right through Miyuri's Bankai and freaking destroys Miyuri. That was great. And I guess I'll carry on. Ulquiorra versus Ichigo. Now, honestly, that was my favorite fight of all time. Though I was introduced to the Kenpachi and Ichigo, that will be my nostalgic favorite. And then there's going to be my other favorite, which is Grimjaw versus Ichigo, and I just loved Grimjaw because he was just the one villain that for the life of me, he was the one villain I actually loved. Yeah. Or, not like loving like that way, but he was just one of the villains I actually like cheered for. Mainly because he got his like arm taken off by his own friend, or at least by his own teammate, so. And then, anyway, let's carry on to the Ulquiorra and Ichigo fight, and Ichigo just gets a, Ulquiorra, we just know he's already powerful than Ichigo. Ichigo's in his Bankai just trying to take Ulquiorra down, and Ulquiorra's just like, Ichigo, you're never gonna do it. Just stop. You're gonna fail. And then Ulquiorra realizes how powerful Ichigo is in his holification, so he breaks a hole through Las Noches and goes up, and he's just like, okay, I'll show you, Ichigo. In prison. Musalako. And he goes into his nice freaking bat form, as I like to call it, he's the Batman. And he just basically summons a freaking lance and just freaking annihilates Ichigo before he can really do anything. And I always look back onto that fight as Ichigo, he just won't give up. That's what I like about him. He's good. And then Ulquiorra goes into his Resurrection Segunda Etapa. And I even knew Ichigo was fucked at this moment, and he's just holding Ichigo up by his tail and freaking blows a hole right through his chest with just his finger. And I'm like, oh, Ichigo, no. How can Bleach carry on? Next thing you know, there's another episode. So, Ichigo gets up, but this time he's in his Vasta Lorde. Uses a frickin' Cero against Cero Asgustus. Frickin' goes right behind Ulquiorra's Pesquisca, and uses a Sognito. And Ulquiorra is just like, well, he slipped by my Pesquisca. That wasn't a flash step he just did there. It was a Cero. It was a Sognito. And... okay. Let's carry on past the Ulquiorra fight. Ichigo versus Aizen. Now, a lot of people will say that's a Deus Ex Machina, but I was actually quite happy with like the ending and how it ended there. Unlike some people, which is just like, oh, I'm just like, well, I loved it. I just sat there, frickin' saw how awesome it was, blades colliding and terrain just being destroyed, because it was basically two gods versus each other. And Ichigo's just like frickin' stops his blade. Aizen backs away after he gets, like, slashed by Ichigo. Then, Aizen uses Kodohitsugi, or Hado 90, I believe. And he encases Ichigo in this whole black, like, square. And then Ichigo, just with one hand, just destroys it all. That was good. Now, this will probably be the only vlog I'll actually show my face on for a while. Mainly because I'm not pretty. I'm not pretty. Anyway. One more thing about Bleach. Ichigo versus Yuha. Ichigo, well, I can change that future that you are frickin' throwing at me. I've overcome despair, and I can take anyone down, and then Yua's just like, no. Bitch, I rule the Soul Society. I rule the Schutzstaffen. I rule the frickin'... what was it? It wasn't the Zero Division Barracks. I can't remember what he called it. But Yua basically destroys. Now, Ichigo, now he's going into his, or he's done his final slash on Yuha. And anyway, I hope he does end up with Orihime, and I hope Bleach gets its happy ending, though. Kubo's being rushed. Oh, dang. Forgot to record like this, I think. Anyway. See you guys and girls.